audience at the top. Okay.
Okay.
Now we're live. Good Lord.
What would you do without me? What would you do without me?
Boy, I'm sorry, guys. I thought I hit the button, and apparently I didn't go all that far into it. So
good thing Mike noticed. We would have been here like an hour talking, like great show.
Like, why are we introducing people? We already know each other. Let's get on with it. Let's go.
Man, I'll tell you what. This is
production issues.
Wow. Not off to a good start, folks. Anyway, welcome. I bid you welcome to Monday Night Metal, for crying out loud. Thank goodness, Mike realized that we weren't going live yet. So I did all this headbanging to the song I was playing for nothing. But yeah, let me go back here. So we got Mike Ladano from Grab a Stack of Rock. We got Jake Dodd from State Farm. We got Dan from Off the Charts. We got Sidney from Slogan's Rock and Metal Extravaganza. And we got Ashley Geisler.
I'm going to come up with
I can't remember the name of your channel, Ash. It's Ash's
Concerts and
Video Showroom.
That's it. Yes. Thank you. Goodness gracious. Oh, man. Yeah. Wow. Thank you, Al. Dummy me and my technologically not working too well on a Monday. So when I said this was going to be a free-for-all, y'all, I didn't expect it to be quite this bad to start off with, but that's okay. How's everybody doing tonight? In all seriousness.
Good.
Mike's got his camera working, which is even better.
Yeah.
It's got all his thumbs up, so that's even better.
It was Chrome. It was Google Chrome, but I'm on Microsoft Edge now, and everything's working.
Wow, that's weird.
That's a first. Yeah.
Because I always thought it was the opposite, that it likes Chrome, but it doesn't like Edge. Huh.
Thank God my IT guy was like right there, and I said, I'm going live in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So we troubleshooted.
Hey, as it was, we weren't even live. So there you go. Crisis averted. Only crisis here was me. Anyway, I'll play that song at the end of the show. So to ride us out. Yeah, I just thought this was a good excuse just to get everybody together and just have a good night of just frolicking and frivolity and whatever else other crazy word you want to come up with. So, Ash, what time is it there this morning at where you are?
7:40 a.m. Tuesday morning.
Okay, so it's Tuesday morning. So it's Tuesday morning metal for you.
Tuesday morning.
So I've got and then I've got 3 Canadians in the house. So so we have. Okay, so now Mike, you're in Kitchener. Dan, refresh my memory.
Ottawa.
You're in Ottawa, and then Sidney.
Guelph, which is like the next town over from Mike.
Okay, all right. So and then of course Jake is over out in South Dakota.
Yep.
So where it looks surprisingly warm right now. Where it looks surprisingly warm, which is a good thing. So
it is very warm, but not like it was in Florida, and I'm kind of sad.
Oh boy. Well, and then where is Elle at? Where does she come from?
Elle's my mother, but I don't live in the same city.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So just a word to the wise folks. I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about Kick-Axe tonight.
Oh. What about their sister Lillian Axe?
Oh my God.
That's a good one.
Did I miss something? Why are we not talking about Kick-Axe?
So
we did a 1987 show. This was the 1987 track show that we did on Grant's channel, and Sidney was on it, and he talked about how his parents had partied with Kick-Axe, and it was like around. I think the way he said it was like around late 1986, 1987. And I said to him, I was like, wait a minute, you were born in 87, weren't you?
Oh,
and he goes, yeah.
I see.
And needless to say, Grant took off with it and just ran with it.
Yeah, I would too. I would too.
Yeah, that was hilarious. But and so we've never let poor Sidney let that one down with him too much. So
He
Bring up
does
pickaxe and people
sort
are
of.
like, what are you
If you
talking
look,
about? No one
look
knows
at his
what
face. If you look at Sidney's face. He does sort of have like a Gilstrom kind of
Oh my
face.
God.
Which
He
one?
looks like one of the
Which one?
Gilstrom brothers.
I really was going to ask, so which member of Kickaxe was, but I thought, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to be nice.
No, he's not a Langan, but I would say he could be a Gilstrom.
Oh, God.
My dad
So-
was there too, so I don't know how that works. But yeah.
Anyway,
You don't want to know how that works.
so Al, thank you for playing along with us and just having a little fun with this joke. It's not meant to be. I'm not poking fun. We're just having fun with it. I'm not trying to be serious or whatever. So
Sydney has it coming because
so,
he's always so rude.
So and there's Metal Roger in the house, so he's
Well,
watching.
gross. Thanks.
So yeah, well we know a guy from Guelph.
It is really hot, actually. It is gross.
We know a guy from Guelph. His name is Marcel Doré, I think is
he's from Guelph too.
So yeah, we know him from the DDP yoga folks. So that's how we know him. So
Okay.
so he's a good guy. But so Jake, you said you were just in Florida. Talk about this Florida trip, my friend.
So this Florida trip was 5 years in the making. My wife and I got married in 2020. And for our honeymoon, we were supposed to go down to Universal Studios and do Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, but COVID didn't allow for Halloween Horror Nights in 2020. So we just went and did Universal Studios and Disney World for our honeymoon. But this was our 5th year anniversary, so we went down to Universal Studios and finally did Halloween Horror Nights and spent a week down there, and we got to do their visit their new theme park, Epic Universe, and we had a blast. We got sunburnt, our feet were sore. We danced with some vampires, had a ton of fun, and I didn't want to come back, but Linda wanted to come back to see our dog.
Oh man, well, yeah, I guess that would be a good thing. Yeah, you gotta get down there. So that's a good thing. But you had a good time, and that's the important part.
Oh, I had a great time.
Cool, very very cool. Ash apparently he's been there too, so he knows. Let's see, Dancing with Vance. Yes, yeah, there you go. The guys in the charts are the guys in the chats are gonna have fun with this one, so it's a good thing. Dan and I recorded a show yesterday that will be on Wednesday morning on his channel. Looking forward to talking about watching that video come up, and hopefully we'll get a good round of applause and views for that one. That was a lot of fun that we did that show. So I don't want to let too much out of the bag because I don't think you've shared that video link yet with anybody.
No, tomorrow, Wednesday, yeah. Wednesday will be at 9 a.m. Eastern, and talk about a wow moment. I'm just going to put it at that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was a very, very good band. We've already discussed another one that we're going to do at some point. Jake knows about this one. I already said something to Jake about this one. So we'll keep that on the down low.
Yeah.
But is Dan gonna slaughter one of my favorite albums, and I'm gonna have to unfollow him?
Oh no!
So the first time Dan did an album analysis review request, I requested the Sea Hags.
Oh my!
And he was all like, "This album's garbage. I'm sorry. I hope you don't. I don't unfollow me."
Whoa! It was decent.
It was okay. It was
decent.
Oh God! Now, Sidney, we're going to have you and Logan on next week again.
Yeah.
Because Logan said he couldn't do this week, but he could do next week. So we're going to have you guys on, and I'm probably going to get your other cohort Brian on with us too. Okay, so we'll have you guys talk about the channel, and you got a concert you're coming up to going to see. So that'll be something we'll talk about. Mike, dude, you are freaking killing it.
It's like what?
with the 50 years of Maiden. So you and Harrison.
Mhm.
Give Harrison the serious credit for this, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm just along for the ride, and I'm happily along for the ride. I really am.
So
Mike,
You're selling yourself short. Come on.
I'm
You
telling you, man.
I'm giving him the credit that he's due, because
Yeah.
this is him. This is his making. All I did was email Blaze's manager. That's my entire.
Oh, you did.
That's
Oh,
my
you
role. Harrison
Mike,
did everything
yes.
else.
Mike makes really, really messed up faces and judges people when they have hot takes. Like, was it Out of the Silent Planet that Harrison went off on? Or no,
Blood
the Thin
Brothers.
Line, the Thin
Blood
Line,
Brothers.
and Blood Brothers. And then when I slaughtered Bruce Dickinson doing The Evil That Men Do, and he revoked my rights to be on Grab a Stack of Rock.
Oh man.
I didn't. No, I didn't revoke your rights. I just I kept my mouth shut and let you dig your own hole.
Well, I got nothing. That's all I got to say about that. Ashley, talk to us about your channel a little bit. What exactly is, what is the whole idea and thing behind your channel? If you may share.
Sure. When it started, I was going to a lot of concerts, bit of all sorts of genre, doing some filming when I was there, just to try something different, and I was uploading every clip that I filmed onto my channel, and it just started off that way. Then eventually, I've got stacks of VHS tapes and DVDs and CDRs, and I've just basically been going all over what I've got and uploading them onto the channel as well for people to view.
Right.
So I haven't got like a live show like any of you guys have or nothing like that. Basically, my channel is just basically clips of a bit of everything, really.
Yeah.
Everything as I go along. There's still many more treasures I've got to find out there, because, as you know, I've moved from the city into the country over here in South Australia.
Right.
So I'm sort of culling my collection down in the of the media side of what I've got.
Right.
So it just started from there.
Right. So I'm gonna go back to you on Ash. I asked about something. So what was your introduction, Ash, to this whole thing we call this music chat community? Where it's a bunch. You got a bunch of contrarians. You got a bunch of offshoots from contrarians, and you got all kinds of other folks. What was your introduction to all of this madness that we call the music chat community?
Basically through the contrarians. So I joined in the chat many times, and that's where I saw yourself, Mike Ladano. I reckon Dan off the charts has been on there once or twice, maybe
37 times, but that's okay.
There we go. That's right.
You know what, Ash? I remember you from, I was on Rock D Dream Nation, and I think that's where you and I first crossed paths, was on Rock D Dream Nation.
That's another channel. Yeah, Peter Kerr over here in Sydney, South Australia, who's in Tokyo at the moment, by the way. So I met Mike through that one, through Rock Day Dream Nation. Of course, Sydney's been over there many times and been evicted a couple of times as well. So and I've met Jake from Mike's channel, Grab a Stack of Rocks. So basically just going through the chat, and I thought, well, I'd like to take this another step further and let's get on board and join up. And it's all started from there.
Right. Mike, you care to share your story about how you got into all this mess?
2 words for you. Uncle Meat. And it all started, I think, in 2021, early 2021. He was a fan of the Contrarians. He was watching them, and he's always sending me links on YouTube. And he said, next week I got Marco coming on our show. We're going to do a Contrarians type of show, and you're going to defend an album or whatever. It was back when it was like Martin defending an album against somebody and vice versa. It's very, very early days Contrarians. And I joined the Contrarians Facebook groups and the Let's Get Physical and Butch's Butcher Shop and all these other Facebook groups. And I saw a couple of dudes there that I thought, in a totally hetero way, I thought, those are some good looking dudes. And I thought, I want to be friends with this John Clauser guy and this Todd Evans guy.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of sent you guys some friend requests, and it snowballed from there. I met Peter. I met Dan through Marco, actually. I met Jake through you. I met Sidney through the Contrarians, and I met Ashley through Peter. And, you know, it was like one big spider web that grew from there. But it all started with Uncle Meat. And I believe you have had Uncle Meat on this channel before.
I have. We have talked some wrestling. We've talked a few other odds and ends of things. But one of these days I'll get him back on here. I just got to get him. Just got to work that out. Sidney, what about you? What got you into all this insanity mess?
Yeah, just pretty much kind of being in the comments of Grant's Rock Warehouse. I mean, it started off watching Sea of Tranquility, and then I guess I found Grant because he did some of those album rankings with Pete. So I ended up checking out Grant's channel and got a kick out of Logan's smart ass comments all the time. We kind of hit it off and decided, I messaged him and said, hey, what's about starting our own channel? Kind of combine our names together, Sidney and Logan. I know most of it has his name in it, the slogans thing.
But it works.
Yeah, it was kind of funny, but yeah, we just kind of hit it off, and yeah, it was
Could have called it Lidneys.
No.
Ligneys, yeah. Slogans actually does sound pretty good, actually. I'll give him that. But
he came up with the rock and metal extravaganza part. So.
Well, you know, the extravaganza. I mean, not everybody uses extravaganza in their channel name. So that's actually, you got to use something fancy. I mean, you know, Steve Deluxe has Rock and Metal Invasion.
Yeah,
he couldn't use that again. So I have the North and South Rock and Metal Connection. So, which is where Metal Roger was a part of. So Logan does have a great sense of humor. So yeah, no, extravagant. I tip my hat to you for extravaganza. That was good. Dan, how about you? What got you? How did you get hooked into all this craziness?
Oh I've always watched these YouTube ones. I'm like, I want to do this. And I started, I think I was either Sea of Tranquility and Contrarians. And, you know, I saw the little, you can sign up for the Patreon for, so I went there, and that's when I met, I believe you, that's where I met you, Johnny. And we were talking about this yesterday. We were like, when did we first meet? I think it was an Iron Maiden X Factor. Was that it?
I believe it was, yes. Yes,
and
I believe it was.
I met Jake, I guess through you, because you brought him into this whole mess, right?
Jake, I was going to say, I'll let him tell his story. I'll tell you mine then. But yeah, I'll tell you my side of the story. But yeah, go ahead.
But Jake loves to. Okay, he brought up the Sea Hags one, which was not an issue. The Wicked Wonderland with Lita Ford. Now that was probably one of the most funs I've ever had doing an episode or anything Nitro related, and it's just like whatever. Sidney, I think Sidney. I met him. He actually asked me, I guess through
I think you were doing a
chat.
Grant. Were you on the Contrarians? I think.
Yes, I've done the Contrarians many times.
Yeah, I think it was a Contrarian show, and I was commenting to you.
And Mike, well, I met him. He actually subscribed to my channel, and he asked me to do a Spinal Tap episode with him, and I'm like, oh my god! And that was actually another great episode too. And Ashley, I don't know you.
Well, you do.
But we love him anyway.
You know, Johnny, if I could ask sort of like a Jeopardy style question, what do all six of us, what do all five of you have in common with me? You've all been on Grab a Stack of Rock, which I'm very proud of, that all of you have been on my show, Jake being the most recent.
And I just want to say, everybody, Marlon, welcome. I bid you welcome. One day I will get a haircut, but maybe I won't. But anyway, I just wanted to welcome Marlon into the comments. So it's always good to see him. So thank you for tuning in, my friend. Oh yeah, everybody's gonna go. Yeah, there you go. I would be. Oh well, I don't know about that, but all right, Jake. Sure.
Well,
Oh God. So I've like Dan, I've always watched these YouTube shows, and it goes way back to Cover Kill Nation back in like the 2010s. That was a channel. And then this guy kept posting in the Wasp groups. He had this Wasp series called Wasp Wednesday, and Wasp is one of my favorite bands. They're one of the two bands that I can say I wouldn't be here without Wasp. And I'd strike up comments and conversations with this guy, and then he asked me to be on the show, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And then I ended up. Dan has these great series called the sexiest album, his sexist or sexiest album covers, and I have a slew of these too. And I'll see them on eBay, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's a great cover. I should buy that." Just go in and blind buy it. And
so bird, yeah.
yeah. So we did a show on that, and then I was on Dan's show, and we did Wicked Wonderland, and. Next time I'm on Dan's show, I'll famously comb my hair because I had just rolled out of bed for Wicked Wonderland. But
Sorry. I was trying to find a good sexist album cover to throw up here, but I can't seem to.
Predator, Easy Prey.
Exactly. I was gonna dig it out, and I can't seem to.
Album,
It's in my stack in there somewhere, so I'll dig it out at some point.
But Mike was a weird exception because I had followed Grab a Stack of Rock since. God, I think before I met Johnny, because there was a show he did, I think it was before or something, where he did Helix with Grant or something. And I was like, oh, this guy loves his Helix and he knows it. And Helix is one of my favorite bands. I love Helix. I feel like they don't get any credit or love, at least from anyone I know here in South Dakota or when I'm at concerts. So if you are passionate about Helix, like, you're like blood brothers to me, you know? So I've been following Mike for ages. And so when I got to meet Mike, it was like kind of meeting Tim Ripper Owens, one of my, heroes. And then I met Ash on Mike's show when we did the Ozzy tribute.
That's right.
And I think this is the first time I've done something with Sidney. But then the first time I remember meeting Harrison was you did a 4th of July show around the 4th of July. The Metal Replacement Singers, I think, aired on the 4th of July, Johnny.
I think so.
And I showed my copy of the Japanese Blaze Bailey copies. And Harrison was all like, oh, I like this Jake guy. He's got the Blaze Bailey Japanese imports, and it kind of snowballed from there. And Harrison and I have become good friends too.
Gotta love that. It's so funny because I mean that really is how I came to know Jake, which was he was making such great comments in the Wasp Nation group on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, I gotta hook up with him a little bit. And I talked with John and we said, hey, let's have a fan show and have Jake on. And that's brought Jake not from State Farm into the world, as it was. It was funny. People always have there's always ways that people try to associate something with people's names to get them to remember them sometimes. Like I've told the story of how the Johnny Metal name came to be. For those who don't know, I was starting to go to this little venue, and it was like a size of a room. Wasn't much of a it wasn't big. It was like the size of this room that I'm in. And this guy who ran it, I got to know him a little bit, and he knew my name was John. He knew my name was he knew I was into metal, and Johnny Metal was born. He gave me the name just like that. Wow. Thank you, George. I've much appreciated, my friend. Not very much appreciated that. Very, very thankful for that. So that's how Johnny Metal came. So the Jake not from State Farm, I thought, well, he went by Jake, And it just like, you had here in America, we have this thing called State Farm Insurance. And you see all these commercials about, Jake from State Farm, what are you doing? What are you talking to what are you wearing? Khakis. It's like this guy's talking to Jake at State Farm for like 3 a.m, and the wife doesn't believe him and stuff like that. So it's like yeah, we like Dan too, actually. Let's see, Caitlin. Oh yeah. I'm not even sure why. I'm not sure what the Caitlin Clark is all about there. But anyway, all that to say, that's how Jake Not From State Farm came about. It just was a way of me putting Jake with State Farm, but not from State Farm. Long story short, boom, there you go. So right. that is how all of us kind of, and then Metal Roger here. So I'll talk about how I came to know him. Was I know him from the DDP yoga community. I've known Roger for probably a good 7 or 8 years or so. And so he was kind of an OG success story. He always had a good, as much as it might surprise Mike, he always had a good word to a lot of folks. He knew exactly, he knew how to talk to people, and he was really good with conversating, via text and message boards and stuff like that. So anywho, but Roger's a good dude, and like I said, I've known him for quite a long time. So yeah, but yeah, Roger gave up, held off having a heart surgery just so he could go see Metallica in concert. So you gotta love that. That's pretty metal. But yeah. So there you go. So that's kind of our story of how we all kind of came into this whole music chat community. So Ash, I'm going to start again with you with this one. I'm going to stick with this, talking about the music chat community. What does the music chat community mean to you?
Basically, it means I'm learning stuff new every day, and it costs me money.
Yeah.
Touche.
Yeah. Because there's just so much information out there that I don't know, and new bands that I don't know through all these different channels that we're all a part of, and It's great, and I can't go without it.
Right.
So every day it's good to learn and catch up with you guys, of course, and learn what's out there, what's going on, and what upcoming concerts and events we've all got coming up, and so forth. So yeah, just basically a good community chat and good to catch up. I mean, it's a lot. I find we're a lot more informative than a lot of rock magazine used to be and stuff like that. So yeah, it means a lot. It means a lot to me, especially down here in Australia. We don't get as much information like you guys over in the States and Canada do. But yeah, just from there.
Cool. Mike?
Skip over me and come back to me, because I'm trying to think of what I'm going to say.
Okay. Sidney, what does the music chat community mean to you?
Yeah, it's just kind of like, I guess, a fun escape from the world, I guess you could say. And it's just fun to meet like-minded people that are passionate and actually like getting into the weeds of the music, and not just, oh, I like this song and move on, right? Most people are just, oh, they know what they like and that's it, and they don't really get into the details of stuff, and they don't really care about their favorite guitar player or any of that kind of stuff, right? They just kind of casually listen to it. But with this, people get into it more, and they can get into the details, and yeah, it's just fun to like find like-minded people who are really passionate and can talk about it deeply.
Okay, thank you. Dan?
So for the record, I like Rush. For the comment. Oh man,
Marla's calling people out. Jesus. You're Canadian too.
And before you answer, Dan, this is awesome, Roger. That's really great. That's good to hear. Let's hope it stays that way. All right, go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, so I'll base it on. I love interacting with people. When my ex and I broke up, January 1st, I guess 2022 or 23 or whatever, I decided I'm going for it. I'm starting my channel. I absolutely love interacting with people, and like Sidney said, it's a great way to escape from the real world. But of course, you watch other channels and you're like, man, my collection is a little on the smaller side. I need to go and buy some stuff for some stock. But and I'll say this: it was my grade 7 or 8 teacher that said, if I can actually influence one person, while her teaching, it's considered a success. So I go with that idea of where, like, if I can actually turn someone on a certain band or a band they never heard of, I consider that a success. So there you go. And FYI, people who don't know, Off the Charts is a play on word from my last name, which is Chartrand.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't and it's mostly off the charts, meaning I concentrate on music that's not on the charts. There you go.
Now, Jack says it's supposed to be pronounced Chartrand.
Yeah.
Chartrand.
It's going to be hard.
It's like something out of Top Secret.
Yeah.
Cholemus.
Oh,
Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu. But I love you the most. What was the Scarecrow?
oh yeah, that scene at the end there when you're playing darts on the plane there.
Yeah. Oh God. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, good stuff, Jake.
Well, you guys have summed up a lot of it, but there's a lot of camaraderie here. And, I don't know how many times Mike and I have had like a 3 a.m. conversation at my time, where I'll have a 3 a.m. conversation with Mike, whether Mike's having a rough time and I'm just talking with Mike, or I'm having a rough time and we're just talking and being there for each other, or Johnny's being there for me, or I'm checking in with Dan to see how Dan's dad's doing. There's a lot of camaraderie here. Or Harrison and I will write each other like giant novels back and forth, and there's just a lot of camaraderie here and friendship, and we might not have ever met in person, but it's real genuine camaraderie and friendship here. And I really, really appreciate that about this community. And it keeps me coming back and I love your guys' content, but that also keeps me coming back. And you guys spend my money really, really bad. I don't know how many times I'll see an album on one of your guys' channel. I'll be like, oh, that sounds great. Oh, this is a good album. I should go buy this now too. So thank you for spending my hard-earned money, guys.
Yeah, we're all good at that. Mike, did you want to take a stab?
Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot, and Jake kind of really summed up a lot of how I feel. It's more about the camaraderie for me than even the music. If I'm hanging out with a bunch of friends, I'm going to be talking about music anyway. And, with Jake, I talk about what's going on in Marvel and science fiction. And with Dan, I talk about his cosplay with Doctor Who. And
Dan cosplays Doctor Who? We got to stop. I'm sorry. Dan,
I shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that. But
there's a bigger story with that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's a great story with that. And, Sidney, I just try to dodge him as much as I can. But I think for me, I've always kind of craved being part of something. It's happened a few times in my life where there's been an amazing group of people, a fellowship of the ring, perhaps. But nothing seems to last forever, and that's just life, right? But right now I'm in this wonderful community, and it's a diverse community that has like little subgroupings. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we have the Tim's Vinyl Confessions grouping, where I met guys like Jex Russell and Ches Cetra and Matt Phillips. And then we have Johnny's corner of the world where I met Jake and Roger. And, you know, we've got the Australian contingent now where I've met Bicycle Legs and Ash. And, you know, let's not forget about good old Todd Evans, who just seems to be a part of every group. And, you know, these wonderful Canadian fellows here too. And it's like, it feels like one of those, you know, those circle graphs where you've got all the different circles and right in the middle is the music community. And that's where we all lie. And I really, as Jake said, it's about a lot more than just music. We will, as he said, 3 a.m. his time, 5 a.m. my time, we'll have these big, long, deep conversations about life and everything else going on in the world. And Johnny too. Johnny's up early too, for that matter.
Sometimes,
I should say.
Yeah, I'm up kind of early too. So yeah.
And I think, you know, I don't want to be too far out of step with you guys, but I think for me, it's the music is secondary. When I talk to you guys, most of the time, it's really something else before the music. It usually is.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I guess for me, it's the friendship and these wonderful people that I've met. As Jake said, it's a shame we're all so far away. We don't have the teleporter beam yet. But I think, I think the pandemic normalized something about friendship, which is before COVID. It was kind of like, well, they're not really friends. They're just people I talk to online. But since COVID came and changed the game, and everybody at one point had to go out and buy a webcam. I remember when Amazon was completely sold out of webcams because everybody had to buy one, basically. Yeah. I think this has normalized sort of these long distance friendships where sadly, I may never meet Ash or Johnny or Jake. Hopefully these other two guys are a little bit closer. But, you know, it's still like I would still call you my friends. And I don't think about the distance stuff anymore like I would have before the pandemic. Like my parents know who Johnny Metal is. You know, that's kind of cool.
That's scary.
So yeah, I think that. But anyway, that sums it up.
Yeah. You know, I think I mean everybody's said so many great things here. So it's like, you know, for me, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to much of anything on YouTube until about the pandemic, and for me, it started with Sea of Tranquility. And then I saw this Contrarians thing. And then that's how I decided to kind of get involved in that because I kind of liked what I saw. And through, you know, I think of the first show I did on the Contrarians, and I want to say, who was on that? Jamie Laszlo, Martin, Peter Kerr. I think that was also his first time. Oh, I can't remember everybody that was on that show. It was a big panel. That's all I can remember. We were talking about Never Say Die. Black Sabbath's Never Say Die of all things. That was my first Contrarian show. And the more shows I started doing, I think Grant was on it. And we were that's just how we all started. And then we like, hey, why don't we just like reach out to each other on social media? And then it just started snowballing out from there. And, we'll come back to this, Marlon, in just a second. But you know, you start doing a lot of these shows, and then sometimes you get to actually hang out with some of these people, you know, before or after the show. So you kind of got to, you know, you get to know some of these people pretty good sometimes, and then you do marathon shows like what we did for you too on Ryan Gavalier's channel. Oh God,
4 hours, wasn't it?
Oh God, some of those shows ran 2-3 hours at the most because we did 2 albums. And good Lord, I remember we did one, and I asked Ryan ahead of time, say, hey, can I go last? Because I'm going to say. Because we were doing what we were doing is I was going to segue my review of the one album into the next album we were about to talk about. So I think we were doing Pop and whatever the album is after that. All You Can Leave Behind, or the Atomic Bomb Dismantling, whatever that, I don't know, whatever it was. And I told this story of basically how that album, how Pop ends is with the song Wake Up Dead Man. You know, I know you all are big YouTube fans here, so you probably know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
So I talked about how back in 1997, well, I was the lyrics go, wake up dead man. You're basically saying, Jesus, wake up dead man, basically. It's like a way of trying to get Jesus's attention type of thing. And well, he got my attention. And then what's their next album start off with? Beautiful Day. So the way I told the story was, I guess, I encapsulated my review of the two albums in like a short 5 to 10 minute span, whereas a couple of others, one particular person who will remain nameless, I think must have spent like 40 minutes per album, and it just was like, oh, that's what made the show so long. Like I said, I'm not going to name names. I won't say no names here, but he's somewhere out across the pond. But anyway, but I did this in like 10 minutes, and I had like 3 of them crying by the end of it. I was like, it was able to share a piece of myself in the show, which unfortunately Ryan nuked his channel, so you can't go back to see any of these shows. But it's like Jake said, I've had a lot of deep conversations with Mike. I've had some conversations with people like Peter Kerr, and trying to think who else. Obviously John the Music Nut, who I've had the honor to meet a couple of times. I got to meet Nick Esquire at that one show that I met John in person. Of course, we met Davey Cretin, and Tia. We got to meet them at a show, and so that was a great night as well. So we've had the chance to meet some of us have had a chance to meet in person. I would love to be able to travel up to Canada and do a little tour around Canada, catch Mike, catch Sidney, catch Dan, catch Roger, catch us a few others up there. Obviously, I'd love to go out to South Dakota and hang out with Jake. I might drink some bourbon with him, but I don't know about the cigar. I'm not really a big cigar guy, but anyway, and Pete Jones is out there in Dakota's, South Dakota as well. So I wanted to, that would be good. So I'd love to meet a lot of these guys. I'd love to get down to Australia, and I'd love to meet Peter, love to meet Ash, love to meet Bicycle Legs. I'd love to meet all these guys. It really, I admit, I think a couple weeks ago, I admitted that I don't watch much of the content anymore because I feel like I just don't have the time to really spend watching everybody's channel. And I feel bad about that, but there's only so much time in a day sometimes. And so I do the best I can just to maintain whatever friendship I can with everybody, as whether it's just on messages or texts or whatever, but I try. And so I'm still thankful that like Dan wanted to do something with me. So I'm glad we did that. Mike still wants to do something with me every once in a while. Who knows when I'll be back on Mike's channel again, but that's okay. You got 50 years of metal or Maiden for another 15, 16 episodes or something like that.
That's crazy. Wow.
That's pretty close, actually. Yes.
So anyway, that would be, he's got a lot on his plate yet with that, but all at the same time, we did mental health shows together. And I'm telling you what, that was probably some of the best shows and things that I was ever a part of ever since I got into the music chat community personally. That's just me personally. I personally absolutely loved being able to do that. And it was an honor to do that.
Well, if I may shoot some thanks back at you.
Yes.
There was a period of time last year where my primary co-host Harrison was very sick, and my secondary co-host Jex Russell was very busy, and Johnny Metal came in. He stepped up to the plate, and week after week after week, we knocked him out of the park.
Yeah.
We did some great shows, and I would have been lost without you because my two main guys were gone. So
yeah.
That wasn't Johnny Metal. That was Johnny Homework at that time.
And now I do have to ask, Mike, when are we going to get to the other 24 letters of the alphabet?
I was just thinking about that this morning, actually. I was actually just thinking about that this morning, that we should do the D section soon. So yeah, let's put that on the plate. And we also still have to do our foodie episode that we
never did the foodie.
We scheduled that twice, I think. But
yes. But the thing was, every time we scheduled the foodie episode, somebody
died.
Somebody kept dying.
Yeah.
How dare people die?
Don't do it.
I mean, who was the second one that died?
Oh, you know what? The second one wasn't a foodie episode, but we did have something lined up, and then Ozzy passed.
Yes. Yeah. And then I wasn't actually in town for that anyway, but so I wouldn't have been able to tag in for that show. But
the first one was, I'm trying to think, it wasn't Paul Diano, was it? It was Paul Diano.
Yeah, it was Paul Diano.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was that was a tough day. That was a hard one that was a hard. I mean, let's talk this. Paul Diano passing. That was huge for the Maiden fans. You know, we all dreamed of maybe one day Paul would be invited back on stage for a Maiden show and just be able to do another song with the boys one last time. Yeah. Sadly, that never happened. At least he and Steve got to meet up. He and Bruce got to meet. But then, God, Ozzy passing away. Yeah. Come on. And then, for us wrestling fans, Hulk Hogan 2 days later. I mean, that was a tough time for a lot of us, you know. But I'm gonna end our show with this question, because this brought me a good topic. Ashley, musician or celebrity death that has hit you the hardest?
Probably musician. Definitely Ozzy Osbourne. And as you guys know, I'm a huge Sweet fan, as you know. Steve Priest in 2020. When he, as you know, he didn't look very well for a while. And he's the reason why I took the bass guitar up. And that hit me pretty hard as well. Not so much Brian Connolly and Mick Tucker, but mainly Steve Priest.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan as well. You can't forget the Hulkster.
Brother.
Wrestling was big in Australia. In the 1980s, we used to have it on about 1 o'clock in the morning because we couldn't have it on the mainstream channel because it was deemed as too violent back then. Today, it's not. So, yeah, basically those three.
Okay. Mike?
This is going to surprise you. I was thinking Eric Carr from Kiss it was a big one regardless. Eric Carr from Kiss was probably the first death in my life of a rock star that I loved. But I think that was sort of assuaged by the fact that Kiss came out with an absolutely amazing album in his honor right afterwards and kind of soothed the pain. But I think, strangely, the one that hit me the hardest was Rick Ocasek from the Cars. That was, I think, in 2020. And I was just a casual Cars fan, but for some reason, his passing really hit me. And I think it had a lot to do with the fact that when I was growing up, discovering music for the first time, the Cars were one of the first bands that jumped out at me. And I just thought Rick Ocasek was the coolest looking guy in the world with the black leather jacket and the black sunglasses. And I wanted to be cool so badly. And for some reason, when Rick died, it just really hit me. I went out and I bought all the Cars albums. I'm still needing Move Like This, but I bought all the other Cars albums in the deluxe editions with all the bonus tracks, and love Candio. And to this day, just Rick Ocasek's passing just makes me real sad.
Okay. How about you, Sidney?
I mean, Ozzy's the obvious one, so I'll try to leave that off because everyone's probably going to pick Ozzy as part of it. But mine's a weird one. I wouldn't really say he's famous or really known, but I think it's because I actually met the dude like a couple of weeks before he passed. So I went to see Michael Schenker at the Rock Pile, which is a small little bar in Toronto. And they had the singer, his name was David Van Landing, found the article here. He was singing for him at the time, and I think they're doing Rock Bottom, I think it was. And so Michael's doing his solo. David comes off the stage and just kind of like sat there at the side, just watching Michael, and it was like right next to where I was. I asked the guy, "Hey, picture with you, or whatever." He took a picture, talked to me. He was really super chill dude. I come home, whatever, great show, and then a couple weeks later, I saw like some news article. Michael Shanker's touring singer passes away in a traffic accident. I'm like, what?
Hmm.
Like, I just met the dude like a couple weeks ago. So
Wow,
yeah. And like the guy wasn't really famous or anything, but like still, it's like wow, it's like Jesus. Yeah.
Dan?
For me, well, like Mike said, Eric Carr, I do remember being in high school when it happened, and me and my buddy being huge Kiss fans, we did send a card to the Kiss Army or whatever address we were able to find. And I was during geography class doing a Eric Carr drawing in a card because that was the priority. But the biggest one, which actually made me sad like a lot, was Ronnie James Dio. I did manage to see him live 4 times, met him. I got an awesome picture of me and him, which actually ended up being in his Evil or Divine DVD. So that picture's there forever. But that was like, I mean, everybody gets sad with, you know, like Eddie Van Halen or Neil Peart when they passed away. But Dio, for me, hit me a little harder. And I guess actors, probably the one I was actually the most bummed about that I do remember just like that was Bob Newhart. Not too long ago there. I loved him in Newhart and even The Big Bang Theory. Like he managed to reinvent himself there. So yeah, those 2 right there for me.
Wow. Okay. Jake?
Oh, this was one I thought about. Lemmy hit me hard. Nick Menza hit me really hard. But I think the one that hit me hardest was when Jill Janis, the singer from Huntress, took her life for musicians. That was really, really unexpected. And, well, I mean, she had struggled with mental health issues, but that one hit me really, really hard. And I met her at a show in Denver when, you know, I was a broke kid with a flip phone. And she was super sweet and nice. I think she was playing with Slayer or something like that. But I went down there to see Huntress. And she was just one of the nicest people, you know, could have arrested me. But that one hit me hard. As far as actors go, I think it was Sir Christopher Lee that hit me the hardest. I know he lived a long and full and I mean, you couldn't ask for a guy that lived a more storied life than Christopher Lee did. But that one hit me really, really hard. Yeah.
You know, I think for me, I remember just getting into Ozzy, and I saw in the paper about Randy Rhoads, and that was like, oh my gosh, wow, no, you know, because Randy was, I would like to say he was the main reason for me, the final reason for me to say, you know, I think I want to pick up a guitar eventually, and I did. Eddie Van Halen, without a doubt. I was actually doing a DDPY workout, and I got a message from Metal Rogers. Will know him, a buddy of mine, Ben Carson. He's one of my North and South Rock and Metal Connection guys. And I get a message from him, and he says, Eddie Van Halen died. I'm like, what? And of course, my mind's blown from that. That one kind of hit me. I don't know if I've had really any other musicians passings that really, I mean, obviously Ozzy, yes, but I don't know if I've had really any other actor or, you know, musicians like really, really get me. But I was a little too young to know about Bon Scott, unfortunately, when he passed away. But yeah. I mean, I didn't discover AC/DC until much later, but I think there was one passing that really did something to me. and I'm actually going to try my best to do the promo that this man did before he passed away in his voice. No WWE talent becomes a legend on their own. Every man's heart one day beats its final beat. His lungs breathe a final breath. And if what that man did in his life makes the blood pulse through the body of others and makes them bleed deeper and something larger than life, then his essence, his spirit will be immortalized. You are the Ultimate Warrior fans, and the spirit of the Ultimate Warrior will run forever.
That was good.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
And Roger thought I was going to end on a sad note, which this kind of is. I know this was kind of a sad note to end on something like that. So maybe let's okay. So just to pacify Roger, we need something nice to end this. A nice question to throw out here, real quick, to end this on a happy note. So let me think. Ash, what was the last concert you've been to that just blew your mind?
Cool. Well, it's hard to say.
Thanks, Kyle.
This is hard. I'd have to go back to 2013, or not 2013, 2023, sorry. And I would say Samantha Fish. I saw her at a small little club in Adelaide at the Governor High Marsh, which is a hotel / band room as well. And I saw her there for the very first time. Didn't know much of her music, but what a performer and a guitarist she is. Absolutely unbelievable. Got some great photos of that show as night as well. Didn't film many, unfortunately, but I managed to pick up a guitar pick. So, yeah.
There you go.
Definitely say, yeah. Samantha Fish. No one's heard of her. Please check her out. She's great.
I've heard of her. She's blonde?
Fantastic.
I think I know. I think my buddy Chase here in Birmingham, I think is a Samantha Fish fan. So yes, yeah, I know about that. So
Fantastic.
Yeah, good one, Ash. Mike, I know it's been a little while since you've been to a show because I know you have some stories there. But
there's no Mike. It's me. It's Dan Chartrand from Off the Charts. Hey, it's me. It's Dan.
Nice.
Honestly, I'm going to be totally honest with you here. Max the Axe, 2018 CD release party for I can't remember the name of the album. Status Electric. Uncle Meat on lead vocals. He's too humble to admit that he's a great singer, but he's a great singer. And that was a great band. And that's a great album still to this day. And I sincerely mean it. Max the Axe, Status release party. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Sidney?
Yeah, I don't go to much concerts either, really. But I also go with the last one because that's probably the most memorable because it's the most recent. But yeah, it was it was a really good show, though. I saw the Pumpkins United tour by Halloween.
Oh, nice.
That was really cool. That was at the History in Toronto, May 23rd, 2023, with Hammerfall opening.
Cool.
That was actually a really, really cool show. Yeah, it was up pretty close to the stage. But yeah, it was a really fun show, and it was cool seeing them, all three guys up there singing, actually, because Kai Hansen did like a whole medley of stuff from the debut album Walls of Jericho. So at one point, but yeah, it was cool to see all of them up there getting along and friends again after. That was like a huge reunion for me too because I always loved Halloween. When they announced Michael was back in the band, I was like, well, how's that gonna work? Does that mean Andy's gone? And like, no, they're keeping them both.
Yeah.
It's like, what? How's that gonna? Doesn't sound like it would work, but I guess they met up with each other, right? And they actually hit it off and became friends and somehow made it work. Like, it's crazy to me. It's like almost like it would be like if you had it'd be like if when Bruce came back to Maiden and they just decided to keep Blaze, and they just said, "You guys are both gonna sing." It's kind of weird when you think about it, but it worked. Works.
Don't make Harrison excited.
Thank you, Al, for
Why does he
your
want
comment.
that to happen?
Good stuff. Dan, how about you?
All right. First of all, two can play this game.
Oh my god!
Oh, there you go.
Hi, I'm Mike from Grab a Stack of Rock. Guess what? We've got Blaze Bailey.
Oh my god! Oh, I told you. Oh, we'll get into that.
A concert. I will admit that I have become very picky with concerts because at one time we were going to concerts like almost once a week. Like I've seen so many. So the last time I was blown away, it was probably twice actually. It was like I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I need to be impressed here and entertained. Mm-hmm. And it happened twice where like I never seen that. One of them was Foo Fighters, which we won tickets for free, but to see a Triangle solo live, and it was actually effing good, was great. It was fun and great. And the other one would be the Ghost prequel. Is someone laughing at me in the chat there?
Off the stacks and grab a chart of rock.
All right. I don't know how to beat that. But yeah, when I saw Ghost for the prequel tour, I was like, okay, there's still, whether you like Ghost or not, that's not the point. But my point I'm trying to make is there's still bands out there that will offer you something new that you've never experienced live. And to me, when I saw Foo Fighters with the Triangle solo and Ghost, the way that the show, the structure of the show, I had never seen that before. And it ended in a way that I just like almost brought a tear to my eye. And I'm actually going to go see also Trans-Siberian Orchestra in November, which I've seen 4 times. And I absolutely love. We'll see them for any time. I know it's just Christmas music, but a lot of people are like, yeah, Christmas music. But yeah, I absolutely love that one there. So I'm looking forward to that. So there you go.
All right. Jake?
I'm going to go with something a little different. So
something completely different.
When Lisa and I were down in Florida for Halloween Horror Nights, we went and got a drink, and then we went in the center of Universal Studios. It's this lake, and they had this show called The Hydrophonic, and it was the water would shoot up and geyser up and whatnot, project like Halloween images in the water, and that was really, really, really cool. But they ended it with this awesome symphonic metal cover of "Don't Fear the Reaper." And that just blew my mind. That wasn't something I was expecting to see down there. That wasn't something that there are other things I was expecting to go in and see, but I didn't expect to see this cool water show. And I wasn't expecting a symphonic metal version of "Don't Fear the Reaper" at all. Wow. And that just blew my mind.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Well, if I was going to answer, obviously I could say Wasp, but because that would just be a given. But I don't really go to my. I'm kind of like Sidney and I really don't get to a lot of shows anymore. I actually only saw 2 concerts all year this year, and they happen to be back to back. I saw Liliac one night in a small venue, and they put on a great show. I'd never had a chance to see them. This first time they ever came to Alabama, so I finally got to see them play, and I was like right in front, right in the front. So I was like from me to my TV, my screen here from the singer, the girls. I can't think of her name now, but really good, really sounded good. And then the next night I went to see the Fix. And the Fix is the same guys that the bassist they've had a bass change, early on, and he kind of took a break in like the 90s, but he came back, and it's basically the same guys since maybe about the second album, and you still got Cy Curran tearing it up on vocals. He sounded amazing. Jamie West Oram on guitar, unbelievable guitar player, so underrated, unbelievable. You had, of course, the keyboard player, the drummer, and the bass. Those guys, they're just all locked in, and they were just doing so good. Absolutely great show. Again, right up front, right. I was like from here to my computer screen from the stage. It was just fantastic. 19 song set, great stuff, and it just covered a lot of their catalog, and it's a catalog I was really happy to hear more of. So it was a really good show, and I've only got one more show that I've got a ticket for this year so far, and that's Little Feat. So John the Music Nut will be very happy to hear I'm going to get to see Little Feat, because we talked about going through the catalog, but because that's like his favorite band, and it obviously just never materialized. But he still got me into the band, and I really liked it. And so when I saw they were coming to Birmingham, I thought, you know what, I think I'm going to go. I want to give John a good report here and give him some love. But I was really happy to get a ticket to see Little Feat. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's really all I got lined up for myself for this year. I was supposed to see Pantera here in Birmingham, but they canceled that concert for tribute reasons to Ozzy, but I think it was probably more because of bad ticket sales, because it was at this new venue that opened up here in town.
Lack of interest, was that?
Who knows?
That's a Spinal Tap quote.
Who knows? But anyway, so thank you guys for being on. I really appreciate this. I'm going to do what Mike does, and I'm actually going to play the song that I tried to play at the beginning when I thought we were live, and it turned out I wasn't. So I'm going to play this band that some unsigned band that I never got to see, but I got to pick up their CD, and I thought it was a kind of a cool little 4-song CD band nobody will ever have heard of. It's called Rima, and this song is called Without You Within Me. But again, before I finish this out, Jake, not from State Farm, thank you, my brother. Dan from Off the Charts, like, share, subscribe to all these channels. Sidney's slogans: Rock and Metal Invasion, Grab a Stack of Rock, Ashes Video and Concert Showroom.
Yeah,
right?
Close. Other way around. Close, but we'll take that.
Okay. All 5 of these guys have channels. Go subscribe to them. Go like them. Do whatever you guys got to do to them. You're going to love their content. So I'm going to ride us out with this little song here called Without You Within Me. Stay rock forever, y'all. We'll see you next Monday when Sidney and Logan return. So take care. Let me play this song out, and we will see y'all next week. Guess it wouldn't hurt if I started at the beginning, but I guess I can't do that. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to do another song, and I'm going to play the song that starts off the show. We'll just do that, and we'll ride the song. We'll ride us out with that instead.
There you go.
This was the band I was a part of called Empire in Ruins. This song we called All For You. Lost 2 of the guys.
We're still here.
We're still here partying.
Some days I am weak, and other days I'm 15 feet tall. No one knows you're there for me. Fighting those when I see me fall. There are times when I face defeat, knowing that it will make me strong. There are the times when I pound my fist on those who've done me wrong. All that I owe, all that I have to give, I don't have much, but all for you I live. All that I owe, all that I have to give, I don't have much, but all for you I live. All that I owe, all that I have to give, I don't have much. But all for you, I live.
This part that you're hearing, Dan, that's me. Most of the rhythm guitar is me as well, and bass is me.
Cool. Yeah, I can't there. Jake's there.
All right. Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all next week for Monday Night Metal.
All right,
Take care,
everybody.
everybody.
Thanks, Johnny.